This tutorial is on profiling the profitability of your passion niche. Before we looked at the audience, and now we've moved over to the tab of profitability. And when we looked at the audience, we looked at the first passion niche was the South. And then when I had looked at the South, one niche that came out was barbecuing. And then the third one that we discussed in the last tutorial was country music. For the sake of time, I'm only going to be really focusing on these two, but it'll probably make it easier for you if you do all three together. And just breaking down the spreadsheet, here is the information that we're looking for. This column is the tools that we're using. And then this just dives into more of what that's asking. So when we say interest over time, we're looking at the average search interest over time. And this tutorial is going to help you see exactly what is needed here. So let's get started with Google Trends. You have the link in your assignment. And so when you go to Google Trends, you'll be taken to a page like this. And we're going to just start out by typing in the South. And when we do that, we are given data on the South, but we want to compare us against the South. So we're going to put barbecue in there. And we're also going to put in United States, since in our last tutorial we talked about the United States being our passion niche most engaging country. And we're going to look at from 2004 until present day. And you can look at other categories, and you can, in here, you can look at like shopping and all that. But I found that I'm able to really get a good understanding of the passion niche, looking at all categories and the web searches. But it doesn't hurt if say you're doing something in health. Let's say you're doing a passion niche in health. Then you can say, okay, I just want to have all the data on beauty and fitness. So, but for us, we're going to look at all categories. When we do that, we see some interesting trends here right off the bat. First of all, we see that barbecue has been growing over time in popularity. And then we see with the South, and we can see here, this is blue for the South for here, and this is red for barbecue. And with the South, we can see that really it's just sustaining. It's not going up and it's not going down. And then right here is the average searches. So this is the very first cell that we're going to fill in over on our spreadsheet. So here it shows that the average search is 30 and this is 42. So let's jump over there. So the South is at 30. Let's do that, 30. And barbecue is at 42. And then the next one is talking about growth. Growth, it says view in the graph. That's the trends that we're looking at. Is the growth, is it growing? Is it sustaining, or is it declining? And we already talked about which is doing what. So the South is sustaining and barbecue is growing. And then the next thing we want to look at, we need to go back. We want to scroll down and we want to look at the popularity overall in the United States. Which one is most popular? So if we look again at blue being the South and red being barbecue, we can see barbecue definitely is the most popular. But I also, we'll do that down here. So we can jump over back to our spreadsheet, and we can say that in the United States, and this correlates, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is the same, that with the interest over time. Let's center these here. So we're going to say that is this the most popular? And if we threw in country music, we would see just how country music stacks against the others. But we're between these two, the most popular, or popularity here, is barbecue. And that's what we're identifying within the United States. The next, we're looking at the city. And so we want to click here and click on city, and we can see just like what is the most popular city for the South, and then down here we'll do the same thing and we'll do city. So really we're going to look at, I would say South Bend, but I think that's because it has the South in it. And so really I'm going to look at if it'll give me a city here. There we go. There we go. Not that. Let's close that out. All right, it's South Carolina that we're in there, and I can't quite because it's of the cluster. And I'm not sure if it will let us, but you could put in there, let's just do Raleigh, North Carolina for now. If you run into that problem, you can just say there's multiple, you can put the state even though we're looking at the city. So the South is Raleigh. See, and then I misspelled Raleigh, but that's okay, we'll fix that. And then the barbecue, we'll probably have a similar issue with Texas, but Kansas City, because Kansas City is, they're very proud of their barbecue as well. Memphis, Birmingham. So none of these are a terrible surprise if you're familiar with the South and their barbecue. But we're going to put here, first spell Raleigh, right? I before E except after, unless you're spelling Raleigh. So let's put here Kansas City. Now we're going to look at the top 3 queries, and that is right here. So if we're looking at with the barbecue, we're going to say barbecue near me is the first one. Barbecue near me. Barbecue, see if I can copy this. Nope. Barbecue restaurant near me. So very similar query. Barbecue restaurant near me. And then the other one was Franklin barbecue, which I don't know anything about Franklin, and that would probably be something I would want to look at more because this is going to help me understand my target audience. Now if we go back to up here to the South, we see with the South we have South Park, the Stick of Truth, South Park, the Fractured But Whole, Queen of the South Season 2. So this is going to tell me a lot on if this is too broad. So obviously I'm not looking at South Park. I'm not looking at Queen of the South Season 2. I'm really trying to find the culture with the South, and we're going to see a lot of irrelevant queries, which tells me that I probably should fine-tune my passion niche even more so. So we'll just say South Park for sake of time. South Park and Queen, what was that? Queen of the South. Queen of the South. So for the sake of time, just imagine that I put in, and you would want to put in all 3 of the exact queries. And then after you've done that, then you're going to look at the search volume, and we're going to jump out of Google Trends and we're going to jump over to Ubersuggest. And again, the link for Ubersuggest is in your assignment. So we're here, and the very first thing I'm going to do is put in the South. I'm going to click that. It's going to load up, and when it does that, it gives me the volume. It gives me CPC, which stands for cost per click, and it gives me the competition. So the volume is 5,400. So if we look here, we're going to put, first of all, we're going to look at the search volume of our exact passion niche. You could also, if I wanted to look at the these queries as well, I could, but we're going to start out with here, and this was 5,400 searches. So this is telling us how many people every month are searching with this exact phrase, the South, and then cost per click. So when you look at, we're going to go to Google here. You type in the South. There are ads normally. Let's type in the South. Let's type in barbecue, because that's going to definitely give us something with ads. So we see that there are ads right here, and well, this one definitely is an ad. So if this was for the South, this would be, say, when we click on this, we are charging an advertiser 7 cents. So going back here, we're going to put in 7 cents. Let's 7 cents. And then the next one is the competition. And this is actually a really important one here. It shows that there's no competitors on this keyword. And we saw that when we put in the ad. So we would put that at 0. Now, before we jump off of this, we're going to look at this underneath here. So here it gives us 334 keyword ideas that are found for the South. And what we want to do is we want to do it according to the most popular. So we saw the South Queen. It was one of kind of the keywords that we were looking at. So we'll copy that, and we're going to put it in here as the keyword. And let's look at, it had 246,000. So 246,000 searches every single month. And then we're going to look at the cost per click. And again, this is the top one. This isn't the cost per click on the South Queen, but rather which keyword gets the most. So we see when you click on an ad for the South Florida Center for Cosmetic Surgery, when you click on that ad, let's put that in. So we do a query with that. People are paying good money to advertise in this. And when you click on it, you're going to charge the vendor, the advertiser, $2.77 on average. So we're going to grab this keyword, and we're going to put it in over here and put that in, and then we're going to put $2.77. And then we're going to look at the most competitive keyword right here. And no surprise, with weight loss, it would be the South Beach Diet Book. That's where most people are competing on. But notice it's not the most expensive, nor is it even received the most amount of searches. So we're going to put that in, and we'll put it in as a 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with barbecue on Uber Suggest. So we're going to just type in barbecue. And once that comes up, so now we see that search volume is at 368,000. So we'll put that there. And then we're going to see cost per click on that is $1.37. Put that there. And competitiveness is 0.09. So more competitive than what we saw with the South. And now we're going to do this exact same thing. We're going to scroll down here, and we're going to look at, okay, which search volume has the most, and that's obviously the one we already have. So let's go to the one underneath with barbecue near me, and we'll put that in. And I didn't see what that's at. 301,000 searches per month. 301,000. And then we're going to look at the most money in the niche. Wow, $8 for barbecue Yelp. And so we'll grab that keyword at $8.83. Let's get that. That's not. Oh, I didn't put the keyword for that. Oh, that's what we're working on. So, yep, barbecue Yelp at $8.83, I believe. Yep. And then we're going to look at the most competitive. And you can see this is a very competitive niche because we've got tons. One is the highest competitive. And so now it does it according to, well, it doesn't look like it's doing it alphabetical, but bowl barbecue or built-in barbecue grills, any of these will work. So we'll just do the top one here, and we'll jump over here. Barbecue grills at 1.0. Okay, so we've used Ubersuggest. Now, this is a really great tool to help you see, okay, with the South, 7 cents per click, that's pretty low. There's definitely more money to be found in the barbecue. We can see more people are searching it. We can see that the keywords are more aligned with what I would think would be with the passion niches versus South Park and Queen of the South. We can also see up here when we jump into Google Trends that barbecue is growing. So we can see overall barbecue is beating the pants off of the South. But we're still going to go through all of this. You're still required to look at popular blogs, popular forums, and also the social media group. Even if, let's say, we feel, you know what, barbecue is even beating out country music. It doesn't matter. You need to pull this all together so you can really see what all of it has together. So let's jump over to now Google. And in Google, we're going to type in most popular Southern blogs, or you could put in top Southern blogs, but you're going to find a lot of articles, bloggers you should be following. This Southern Living is actually a magazine, but you can see here 10 Southern bloggers you should be following, and you can grab 3 of these. And an easy way, one thing that's going to help is saying, okay, Blushing Black. We can say, all right, this is around fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. So is this something that I want to focus on with just overall with the South? Regardless, I'm going to grab whatever blogs that I feel that fit. And the point of looking at the blogs and the forums is to see if there are popular social spots. If you jump into a passion niche and you're just not finding any blogs or any forums, then you may be not in a passion niche. These are also going to be helpful to you in the future as possible partners. So I would put in the 3 blogs that I found around the South, the 3 blogs I found, or the top 3 blogs that I found around barbecuing. There's actually ways and tools that could help me identify the popularity, but right now we're just looking at, are there blogs, and are there people writing about the best blogs about the South and country music? I can guarantee you there are plenty of blogs in country music and in barbecuing. Forums is the next one that's helpful to look at. When we look at forums, you'll do the same thing. Most popular Southern forums. And here we're going to see, again, this is South Africa. Let's do the South. Most popular, the South. Again, we're still getting South Africa, which I found when I was looking at. And it tells me time and time again that that is just too broad of a niche. The South has, when we were looking at it, obviously literature, art, food, music, all of those I can dig in deeper with it. But as I'm looking here with this, I'm not seeing a ton of forums, which tells me what I would put on this. We have the consumer goods forums, but that's not really about the South. I would put here no real forums, which is a red flag. No forums found. Whereas let's take a look at the barbecue one. Most popular barbecue forums. Let's see if we run into the same problem. Nope, we've got AmazingRibs.com forum. We have Smoking Meat forums. We have Meat Ventures and theirs, Texas Barbecue Forum. So we're seeing here, there's a lot of forums here, and it's telling us that there is definitely a social hub. So you're gonna put in the top 3 forums for barbecue, and then the final thing that you're gonna look at is the most popular social media groups, and you can look at that with Facebook, with LinkedIn, Google+, Reddit. Facebook is the easiest. So let's take a look at Facebook. I'm going to type in the South and let's see what it brings up. So we've got here the South. I would click on this and I would grab the URL of it. So you can't see it because it's off screen. But we can see there's almost 200,000 people in this forum, and so we'd go here and we would put the name, here we put the South and then the link for the South so that we can get back to this. And it wouldn't even hurt to put how many people are in this Facebook group. And let's go back to here, and this is actually a page. Let's take a look where up here, let's go to a group. So here again we're running into South African politics, Monsters of the South, so monster trucks, the south side of Chicago, South Florida. The South is very ambiguous, but we have right there, I saw Southern cooking might be one that we could look at. So I would find 3 particularly groups versus pages, because you're going to be able to interact more with people in the groups. And then I would do the same with barbecue. So here we again see a lot more defined groups around barbecue, and I would put that there. So once I've gone through and I've found 3 social media groups around my 3 niches, then it's time to decide. Here we can see really easily the money found in this. If we look at here, the top cost per click in the South, and it's not even for what I'm looking for, is $2.77. Where barbecue is at $8.83. I found there was a lot of issues in finding forums for just the South, whereas with the barbecue there was plenty of data. And so if I was just looking at these 2 before even adding in country music, I would go with barbecue. And that's what you got to do with the assignment. You need to say, all right, there's more searches, it's definitely making more money, and having more competition is even good. A lot of people are like, I want to go where there's no competition. Well, if there's no competition, that means there's no money. So all around, barbecue is just killing the South. And you can, if you decide, hey, I still want to focus on the South, that's fine, but I'm going to push you on finding something that's more defined, because this passion niche, and it is definitely a niche where people are very passionate about the South, it's not defined well enough. And the barbecue, you could get away with this, but there's so many types of barbecue, but you could still have a broad barbecue focus and then have, Southern barbecue, Texan barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, what we saw. So at the end of this tutorial, you should have plenty of data to say, all right, I've profiled the audience, and the profitability, I am deciding on this passion niche. So that's what you're going to end up with this assignment, is you need to choose one passion niche for you to be focusing on for the rest of the semester. All right. I look forward in the next class period to seeing what passion niches you came up with.